Good morning. Welcome to the Celtic Way morning briefing live. It's game day. Aidan Magic. I'm Tony Haggerty at Haggerty10 on the Twitter handle, and I'm joined today, as you can tell, by Aidan Macdonald at Aidan C Macdonald on the Twitter handle. Good morning, Aidan. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, Tony. How are you?
I'm very well, very well. Celtic play Hearts tonight, Scottish Premiership, hoping to at least keep the 9-point lead, or maybe even extend it, Aidan. Who knows what will happen tonight, but it's all about Celtic, isn't it? And just winning as the fixtures tick down to the end of the season. We'll come to that in a second. But first and foremost, as I always do every morning, why don't you subscribe to the Celtic Way? And we thank everybody that's already done that. Click of a button, www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe, and it'll cost you the princely sum of £2 for 2 months of unlimited access to everything that's written on the website. Something there for everybody. Aidan usually tells me, keeps me right about what's on the site. But £2 for 2 months. And all you have to do is visit www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. Hit the button. Thanks everybody that's done that. Thanks, Guy, for all your comments and all your goodwill messages. We appreciate it every day. And we also say thank you to SENECA. And everybody knows by now that the Celtic Way morning briefing is now sponsored by SENECA Medical Group. And SENECA are the #1 hair transplant company in Europe, and they offer innovative hair restoration treatments. And you can find out more about SENECA via the links in the description of this video. Boom, sorted, Aidan. Apart from the www, don't always get tongue-tied with that. But there you go. Anyway, Aidan, Premiership duty tonight. First of a double header against Hearts. League duty and then Scottish Cup on Saturday. Now, do we see rotation, Aidan? Do we see people coming in? What do you think, first and foremost, or how do you think it'll go? Are you confident that Celtic will pull out another 3 points?
I'm quite confident that Celtic will hopefully get the job done. Obviously, a pretty good record in recent times against Hearts, beating them 2 times earlier this season, 2-0, sort of right at the start of the campaign. And then obviously that quite dramatic game that obviously I know you were at, Tony, the 4-3 match at Tynecastle, which could be kind of looked back on as one of the games of the season and results of the season. So hopefully they can get the job done. But I think the sort of vein of form the team's in. I mean, only dropped points once in 2023. Haven't lost a league game since we've actually obviously been back to Paisley since the last time you lost a league game. So fingers crossed, Tony, they can go out there and get a positive result.
Get your comments coming in, guys, on how you think it will go tonight. But yes, you spoke about the Greg Taylor game. Would be remiss not to mention that Greg Taylor was a match-winning hero in that 4-3 game. Sean's top man. He was bigging him up for ages, and then he scored the winner in that game, and he couldn't have gone up any higher in Sean's estimation. But 100 games in charge for Ange, milestone game. It's got to be a big win, surely, says Patrick McLaughlin. I think we'll take any kind of win at this minute, Patrick. But wonderful milestone that for Ange as well, isn't it? 100 games, Aidan. I think the statistics also show that the score was at 250 goals, round about that, or even more than that.
Round about that.
And he was asked about that yesterday, wasn't he? He's also asked if he'd been around for the next 100 games, and he kind of got, bristled a wee bit at that question. But I thought he handled it very well, because he'd kind of dealt with that after the League Cup final, hadn't he? So, cracking milestone for Ange, and I always like his wee kind of sense of humour, just because they've got long odds on him being here for 100 games when he started out. So, just a wee kind of wee bad comment, but a humorously bad comment, So I love all that. That's fine, if you're going to dish it out, you've got to take it, haven't you? When he's on that kind of. He looked like he was kind of in a playful mood yesterday, Aidan. He was quite kind of relaxed about it all, wasn't he?
Yeah, he seemed to be maybe almost enjoying his presser to an extent. We kind of know that's not his favourite thing to do, but he had a few sort of classic one-liners yesterday, and I think that one about the long odds was kind of one of those classic ones that you start to kind of see everywhere. I think it was Sky Sports that first shared it, so that was a good line. I enjoyed that one.
I've said before, he's got a cracking sense of humour. Maybe comes armed with a couple of well-rehearsed ad-libs, you know, and then even at the start, when he said that Ian Jameson, the Celtic's PR guy, had to show him what a GIF was, because they were talking about the the Cameron Carter Vickers incidents, and he said, I've just learned what a GIF is, and I love all that. It just kind of, you know, he does kind of come off as if, I don't know what's going on here, but he's well sharp. He knows exactly what's going on, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's always usually on the ball when it comes to these things, Tony. So I was delighted to know that he was aware of that GIF existed, because it's one of the best things I've seen for a while. So
it was cracking, wasn't it? It was, and you'll see it a lot, because
it'll be everywhere now for the rest of
I
the
saw it a
season.
lot of times yesterday on social media when I was flicking through things. But yeah, no, I think, as we've spoken about before, Aidan, I think the Celtic supporters trust this manager. They trust the players as well. And whatever team he puts out tonight, I've never watched so many press conferences in my life. Yeah, Patrick, I'm always the same, and I say this too about Brendan Rodgers. Whenever you sat in front of Brendan Rodgers, it was an education. And I always feel that whenever you sit in front of Ange, it's an education as well. I always tell people to listen intently and just kind of, yeah, because you do learn. You come away with, if you come away expanding your football knowledge from a press conference as a journalist, I think that's a good thing, you know, and because a lot of people have various opinions on journalists, fair enough, but I'm always willing to be educated, and I think people like Martin O'Neill, Brendan Rodgers, and certainly Ange Postecoglou in my career, sitting in front of those kind of guys have helped educate me. I'm talking about Celtic managers, lots of other managers have educated me as well, but I think when people can hold court like that and hold sway, and they're very good at what they do and how they handle various questions, then I big up to them. But sitting in front of Ange is and it's an honour and a pleasure and a privilege to sit in front of these guys and hear them and listen to them and just not bother them with frivolities, Aidan, and trivialities, you know. So you've always got to be.
That's a challenge, isn't it,
On
Tony?
your mettle as well. That's the challenge, very much so. You know me, I like a laugh and a joke, but when I sit in front of these people, I've got my serious professional head on, or at least I try to, you know. So, but yeah, I think a lot of Celtic supporters are very invested and engaged in his press conference and what he says, because now they can see the way questions are framed and the way the answers are given, and they can decipher the messages for themselves and take what they want from them. But most of the time, he's always good value, isn't he?
Yeah, Ange always has good value. He's always kind of on the ball about most football-related topics in general, even outside of Celtic. I think we've seen that during the World Cup. And then, yeah, I do agree with what the commenters were saying there. I feel like I've never watched as many pressers as I have over the sort of last 18 months or so. It used to be, I think without going into it too much, sort of previous pressers under the previous manager near the end, I was kind of avoiding it at that stage. So it's refreshing to always want to join. To be honest, even under Brendan Rodgers, sometimes I felt I didn't know I need to watch, every single minute of them, but nothing to do with the fact it's obviously because of the job as well. But I generally last season I was still watching every single Ange press conference. I didn't miss anything he was saying. So yeah, he's very good value in these things, Tony, as you obviously know.
On to tonight, Aidan, and
Yes.
team selection. Rotation for you. Danny's coming in there and man after my own heart, but we'll go with your team first, Aidan. And see,
Yeah, so
you've kind of status quo'd it, haven't you, basically?
Yeah, I've went for basically the exact same team that started against St Mirren, which I did get 11 out of 11 for, Tony, I've got to say.
You did get 11 out of 11 for, I think, for the first time ever, so big up to you for that, young man.
But so I went for also just, like I said, same team, Hart and goal, back four of Johnson, Carter Vickers, Starfelt, Taylor, McGregor on the number 6, 2 8s of Moy and Hatate, and then Jota on the right, Kyogo through the middle, and Maida through the left. Now, it potentially could be a controversial shout. Maybe not controversial, but I know Abada did very well when he came on yesterday. Not yesterday, sorry, on Sunday, Tony. Every day's bleeding into one. And he was probably a lot of people that he's a person that a lot of people would like to see start. And it is one of those ones I wouldn't have any issues with Abada starts. I just think Maida's kind of an Ange guy, isn't he? And he does play pretty much all the time. regardless of who's getting rotated in and out of the front three. Or that's what it feels like. So, yeah, that's my team I've went for. But just if people want to say in the comments, they agree, disagree with that, etc. There is a lot of discussion, obviously, about Haksabanovic, about Abada. One about your boy Tony.
You can see Ralston getting some off the bench, but not starting Alan Woods possibly yet. Now, my team, and I kind of was listening to Anne yesterday, probably saying that he might rotate. There's a possible chance of rotation, so I took it from that, and I also took it from the player who spoke yesterday, was Matt O'Reilly. So my team was Joe Hart in goal, same back four, Johnson on the right, Greg Taylor on the left, Starfelt, Cameron Carter-Vickers in the centre, and I went with a midfield three of McGregor, Hatate and O'Reilly, and I went with a front three of Abada on the right, Kyogo through the middle, and Haksabanovic on the left. That's my team. I think that
was Jota, Tony. No Jota.
No Jota. No. I think he'll go back to the team that you've mentioned, more or less that for Sunday's game. But I just think he likes to rotate, doesn't he, and freshen things up. And whilst that's three changes, but I don't think they make a real kind of change in sense of the way that Celtic will approach the game and play. When they bring guys in, they're going to make an impact. And I think Haksabanovic, you saw Abada's impact coming off the bench on Sunday. I think he's done enough to be rewarded a start. I thought Maeda was a wee bit out of sorts. So rotate him. And I said in the lead up to yesterday that Jota could also have come off at half time on Sunday. So it was a toss-up between me which of the two wingers came off. So I think he might rotate Jota and then go back to his kind of tried and tested for the cup game on Saturday. I could be wrong on that, but that's three changes for me. So O'Reilly comes in for Moy, Haksabanovic comes in for Maeda, and Abada comes in for Jota. That my changes. Guys, throw your own team up in the comment section. We'll endeavour to have a look through them. But yeah, love Maeda to bits, but there's nothing wrong with resting him now and again, says Pete McGee, especially with such a strong squad. I'd start Abada tonight with Jota on the left. Well, there you go. I'm just desperate to see more of Haksabanovic. I think there's a player there. Moy kept fresh for Saturday. Alan Woods, a man after my own heart. That's a couple of things we've agreed on, Alan. So yeah, that's my thinking as well, Aidan. Your team just straight status quo. Big game to throw Ralston into. Other caution in that. I haven't thrown Ralston into that, Charlie, and I don't think the manager would either. It is a big game.
It's just a discussion in the comments about whether or not Ralston would get any sort of game time with that. I think a couple of people were saying if he did get minutes, this could be the match to potentially do it, but it'd more than likely be off the bench, just given how well Alistair Johnston's been, obviously. Yeah,
I think Ralston might see some game minutes if Celtic are in a comfortable position and can maybe take Alistair Johnston off because he's played a lot of football, which we spoke about yesterday, but it's not necessarily a game I would risk Ralston in from the start. Celtic have to be clinical and professional and get the result, Aidan, first and foremost. But there's a lot of, I call them quandaries now, Aidan. They're not dilemmas and they're not selection headaches because it's something the manager loves, having more or less every player fit, I think, with the exception of James Forrest, isn't it? Everybody.
Yeah, Forrest.
So that's a strong squad that the manager has to choose from between now and the end of the campaign, assuming everybody is fighting fit and ready to go. So I'm pleased about that. And fine well that the tempo and training and the intensity levels will be high because that's the way they design it. So yeah, I'm delighted that I use the word a lot, but he's got a plethora of options now, Aidan. Touch wood, and hopefully that can remain to the end of the season. Too many top choices tonight, mate, for us. Ange must be loving it. Yeah.
Chimes in with what you were saying there, Tony. But the options that the manager's got at his disposal is phenomenal. But he made the point himself in his presser yesterday, talking about how the squad is very strong right now, but going into next season that's going to be needed, and potentially having to add players to that as well, because you've seen how busy a run it was before the World Cup break. Now that was a lot more congested with the Champions League than it would usually be, because the last game would usually be like the first or second week in December, if that, and it would be sort of every couple of weeks rather than the Champions League. It was pretty much apart from one game week, which was separated only because of the international break, of which there was still a lot of the Celtic squad away playing. the games were just 1 week after another. So between that and then league games, it was quite full on. So Ange was also pointing out that as much as there's plenty of options right now, logic would dictate that when you're playing all those matches next season, people will pick up knocks. So that's why the squad's got to be strong as it is, which goes back to that forward planning, doesn't it, Tony?
Of course. Yeah, and you can't get enough good players in your team. You know my thoughts on that, but I think Celtic will add to the squad in the summer, of course they will, and there'll be even more quality coming in, but that just keeps everybody on their toes, and they'll probably leave. So, you know, it's that's where it kind of... sorry, lost the plot there, lost the thread, but I was talking about good players in the team, wasn't I? And good squad players coming in and good players coming in, but we'll obviously maybe part company with a couple of players in the summer you don't know. The Brown Warrior coming in, seeing 5 minutes and winning a game versus Hart. God bless Albert Kidd. Yes, for those of you who are not aware, Albert Kidd scored the 2 goals to sink Hearts in 1986, and Celtic won the title at Love Street, didn't they, by winning 5-0 against St Mirren to pip Hearts at the post. Back in the midst of time, Aidan, long before you were around, but you'll be well aware of that championship win, won't you?
Yeah. I've heard pretty much all the stories about it at this stage, but just slightly before my time, Tony, as I feel we say often on this podcast.
Indeed. Now, Aidan, anything else come to mind for tonight in terms of team selection? Anyone else come into your reckoning, or your thoughts, or you just strongest team, get the job done, get out of Dodge?
Yeah, I mean, and we should say as well, obviously this article's available up live on the website. It went out as a newsletter. The link's in the description for it, so you can go and see me and Tony's selection. We've kind of explained in the usual format why we've made the selection decision in each position. So get yourself involved in that if you haven't already had a look. But in terms of the actual selection, Tony, the only really points I was debating in my head were the sort of decisions I think you made yourself, O'Reilly potentially coming in, Abada coming in. So, look, if that's the team that starts, I don't think anybody would have any issue with it. And I think you're right to highlight about Haksabanovic as well, because if there's a position he is probably going to be most likely to rotate, it is probably going to be the wingers, isn't it? Because they have all been contributing recently, and it is something that Ange will regularly do. He maybe will start a different winger here or there. So, yeah, I think given how well all the forwards are doing, even though I wouldn't expect O to start, but given how well everybody's been doing at the top end of the park, no matter who plays, it should hopefully be enough to get the job done.
Yeah, I fully expect to see O get some minutes as well tonight too. Come on at some point. He's done very well in his cameos that he's played so far. Scored a penalty on Sunday. I had a pop at him in terms of was it the best penalty ever, but it still went in the net. So
interesting run up, Tony.
I didn't have a pop. I just sort of questioned the run up in the strike. You know, the goalkeeper could possibly have saved it, but it went in. So I'm not complaining. But run ups like that always give me the heebie-jeebies, as they say. I just want my players to run up and scalp it or whatever, or place it or do what they do. But when you start mucking about with your run up, Aidan, it doesn't fill me with great confidence.
No, it's you kind of just want him to just go up. An old-fashioned way to look at it, I suppose, we just go up and weather it. But when he's doing that run up, you're thinking, how is he going to be able to generate, enough power?
Yes, that's
probably get a wee bit of luck. I mean, there was enough power in it to take it past the goalkeeper.
No, it's good. I'm not complaining.
Probably statement to make, but I think you maybe get a wee bit lucky about kind of going under the keeper. Like, see if you were to take 10 of them all the same way, you wonder how many would actually go in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I scored that. I'm not too fussed about that. Any penalty that goes in and scores, it's fine. It goes in. That's the bottom line. But no, I just kind of those run-ups just don't.
What a Neymar sort of type run-up. That's sort of.
Yeah.
Well, it can be on the Neymar, but the run-up, I should say.
I'm told Tommy German was a fine penalty taker back in the day, where he just run up and he'd rattle them. I feel confident in something, and if they miss the target, so be it. But if you run up and give it a rattle, then I'm happy with that. That's fair enough. Or you place it or whatever with precision. I'm cool with that. Is there a role for a Watta, in your opinion, says Patrick Fitzpatrick?
We obviously discussed that yesterday, Tony,
We
didn't we?
discussed that yesterday. I think moving forward, the Watta will be maybe for next season's Champions League. And I said I've been impressed with some of his cameo performances. He's came on. He might get some more game minutes tonight, Aidan, depending. I guess it's all dependent on the situation Celtic find themselves in tonight. If they're comfortable at any stage in the game, then the manager might give them some more game time. But first and foremost, they've got to get the job done. And it's always that kind of question for me, usually in the midfield, about Moy and O'Reilly. And Matt was saying yesterday that he feels in a good place now, and maybe the manager's seen that and maybe trust him tonight. Came off the bench on Sunday and scored against St Mirren, so his confidence will be high, certainly.
Yeah, I think it will be, and obviously just in terms of Awata himself, before to jump into O'Reilly, I'm sure he will have a role to play even before looking ahead to next season, because there is going to be plenty of football. It's just at the moment, the sort of business end of the campaign, as people like to call it. McGregor, the captain, is going to be starting the majority of the games. So the fact that Awata, as far as we know, he's mostly been brought in to play that sort of number 6 position. And based off the cameos, that's kind of where he's went to play. So he isn't going to be maybe feature a lot between now and the end of the season, but he will get minutes of some sort. And tonight's a perfect example. If the team do find themselves in a good spot, maybe the last 20 or so, I'm sure they'll get on. With O'Reilly, he very much does look, not that he ever was out of sorts, because I thought, for example, when he was having to play that role when McGregor was injured, I thought he did it relatively well, Tony, given it was a position he wasn't used to playing. And he was having to do it in some tough games as well, Champions League games, So I think he is back to his best, and the fact he's starting to add goals to his game is a positive. The only reason I didn't include him is just because it's probably at this stage a bias towards Aaron Moy. So the only reason I didn't include him, Tony. But O'Reilly is really starting to hit a good run of form, which once again, the stage of the season, that can only be a good thing.
Okay, we'll put it off for 22 minutes, Aidan. Prediction time. Come on, you want to go first, or am I going first?
I'll go first.
You go first. When you go.
It was a wee while since I went first. I'll go 3-0. 3-0.
Oh, I'll change mine then, won't I?
I think I'll go for Kyogo to score. Maybe Hatate to get a goal, and then off the bench later on.
Okay, well, you go 3-0. I'll say 4-0 then, eh? I'll go one better. 4-0 to Celtic. Goal scorers, I can't guarantee you, but if Haksabanovic plays, he scores. There, I'll say that. Okay, so the others probably Kyogo score as well, but hey, there you have it. But also wanted to touch on Aidan, Celtic B team yesterday, 3-1 winners over Rangers. Joey Dawson just can't stop scoring, can he? And a goal from Mackenzie Cass and a 3-1 win. Great victory for them in the Glasgow Cup. Aidan?
Yeah, no, it was a good victory, and obviously the Rangers team they were playing against had a few first team players in it who I think they're coming back from knocks. So it was a quite a decent standard they were playing at. So yeah, it was I suppose it was out for the B team. Obviously, always good getting a derby result, and I think that's 3 wins out of 3 in the Glasgow Cup now. So they're sitting well in that competition.
I believe John Shooter played, didn't he? And Ridvan Yilmaz played for Rangers, is that right?
Yeah, they both played. I think one of them played 45 minutes, and the other one they played a wee bit in the second half as well. So yeah, no, it was a good result for the B team, and Joey Dawson's on fire, isn't he? I mean, that's his second double against Rangers in the space of 2 months or something like that.
Yeah, and so I'll ask the question, Aidan, what does Joey Dawson have to do to get crashed that first team squad? Can he not do anything more?
I don't think he can do anything more, Tony, but it's such a strong position up there. And I think, unfortunately for Joey Dawson, if something dramatic was to happen, that for whatever reason Kyogo or O wasn't available for a game, I feel like it would be Maida or Abada he'd probably put through the middle before Dawson. You might disagree with that, but I just think at the moment that would be the more likely case, and then maybe Dawson would be on the bench. But look, he's doing all he can, he's doing well. You wonder, is he something the next season that maybe benefits from a loan spell? I don't know. But look, he's firing in the goals at the level he's regularly playing at, so there's literally nothing else he can do at the moment except just keep jumping at the bit.
That was my next question. Do you see him going out on loan at some point to come back to Celtic, as you say, get game time in the Scottish Premiership? Say on
The Ryan Christie method, Tony.
Yes, the Ryan Christie method, as it's usually called. But yes, would that benefit somebody like Joey Dawson to test his mettle against Scottish Premiership footballers? And again, as I always say, get used to the terrain and where you're going to be playing. Hopefully, if you impress enough and come back and force your way into the first team.
Yeah, I think it would. I can't really think of another sort of situation at the moment that's going to allow him to get that first team football than if he goes out on loan. I mean, it's not somebody you want to be leaving the club fully because he seems like a really good prospect. He's not going to get an opportunity in the first team for now. He could be one that, and I don't want to tempt fate when I say this, so I'll choose my words carefully, but if the season continues on its sort of current wavelength and Celtic do potentially win the league by 9 points, so there's a couple of games left at the end, he could be somebody that maybe gets some minutes. But obviously, if we're thinking longer term, I think it would probably benefit him to go out and loan next season, Tony, because he'll have had a couple of campaigns with the B team now, and he clearly showed that he's probably too good for that level, isn't he, really, with the sort of numbers he's putting up. So I reckon that next season it would be good for him to go out and loan. Sort of specific loan move, whether it's SPFL, the top flight of that, I should say, or elsewhere, I don't know. But yeah, I think that would probably be a plan for him.
I would always encourage them to go to a top flight club, as I say, get everywhere that you're playing, and so that it's not alien to your nature when you come back. That would be my thoughts. Whether or not Joey Dawson can, as I say, gate crash the first team is purely up to the manager as well, isn't it? But I mean, he is on fire, as you say. He can't do it anymore. I think the manager's certainly aware that he's around, isn't he? And good luck to him. I hope he can get some minutes in the first team before the season ends. I'm thinking of the likes of Jack Aitchison, who was the youngest goal scorer for Celtic, and even James Forrest got a game near the end of the season, didn't he? Or the last game of the season, I think it was against Motherwell, and came on and scored, didn't he?
Johnny as well, going back.
So I just hope that he gets that and gets his chance, and his reward. I think it'd be a fitting reward for his endeavours in the B team this season, if at the end of the season he gets a chance to get minutes on the park and gets a feel for it. I think it'd be good for him. And good luck to Joey Dawson. And I think he just has to continue doing what he's doing for the B team and take it from there, and maybe have that chat at the end of the season about going on loan elsewhere. And I would always recommend the top flight. That's my one thoughts. Guys, get your predictions coming in for tonight. Any predictions, Aidan? Score lines?
Yes, most of the discussion right now, Tony, is about the B team game last night. But there was a few. Let's see, 3-0.
For 3-0, but anyone will do if Celtic make multiple changes. Yeah, you said 3-0, Aidan, didn't you?
I said 3-0. Yep. So bang on there.
I've gone for win the league, then play young Dawson. I think that would be my sentiments exactly as well, Brian. Yep.
And then this isn't a prediction, Tony, about the game, but just since we're discussing the B team right now, obviously it's the second division B team. Well, Celtic are currently in the Lowland League. I know also the comment and it'll be referring to potentially like Championship, League 1, League 2. I don't think I can personally see that happening, Tony. Because they might feel that kind of cheapens their league to an extent, because obviously the B team, the way it's working in the Lowland League currently, if the B team wins the league, they can't get promoted.
Yeah.
No, so I think that whoever second wins the league. So say you had Celtic and Rangers be in the Championship, it's meant to be the second biggest league in Scotland. That it is on the telly sometimes, BBC Scotland channel, etc. And you're having a team first and second that can't get promoted and third winning the league, playoffs, fifth, sixth, seventh. I couldn't see that personally. I don't know about you.
I don't see it happening in the immediate future. I think the Lowland League concession was fair enough, but having a Celtic being a Rangers being a championship, I think we're a wee bit away from that.
Even League 1 or League 2, I think, as well, to be honest.
Correct. That's fair enough. But always open to debate on that one, aren't they? And talking about new ways of revamping Scottish football and making it, a more appealing prospect. So I guess people would need to get around the table and talk about that. 4-1 to Celtic, says Matt James tonight. Fair enough. Second squad, 8-0 just to strike up love before the cup game. Kaiser's
enjoy his confidence.
Aye, very optimistic with his scoreline as Kaiser. Hope you're well, bud. Well, Aidan, that's half an hour. Obviously, game night tonight. We'll be back on later doing more stuff. Not on the briefing, but certainly working away. Here's hoping Celtic can 4-0, says Pete Morrison. There you go. Lots of confident predictions here, Aidan, 3 and 4s and stuff like that. But I guess that's just indicative of the way Celtic are playing, scoring goals. It's Andy's 100th game in charge. Here's hoping it's another wonderful victory for Celtic, and they maintain at least their 9-point lead at the top of the Scottish Premiership table. Always result dependent, guys. Have a wonderful Wednesday if you can. Myself and Aidan will be back, probably Sean tomorrow, to talk you through it all on Thursday. So here's hoping, as I say, we've got another victory to talk about under our belts. But before we go, just ask you to subscribe to the Celtic Way website and support top quality journalism covering the club you love. It will cost you £2 for 2 months of unlimited access on the website for everything that we write on the website. And it's all for the click of a button, www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. That's www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. And we also say thank you to SENECA. The Celtic Way morning briefing is now sponsored by SENECA Medical Group. And as you all know by now, SENECA are the #1 hair transplant company in Europe, and they offer innovative hair restoration treatments. And you can find out more about SENECA via the links in the description of this video. So, Aidan, thank you very much. First class as always. Guys, enjoy tonight. Thanks for your comments. Always appreciate it. Take care. All the best. See you tomorrow.
Cheers, guys.